Pat Misasi with Scalar Decisions, and I'm here today with Bill Dunlop of Arrow ECS. Bill, thanks for joining us today. Today we want to just chat about one of the most overlooked and misunderstood areas of the technology procurement process, and that's how the equipment is actually paid for. So the areas that are pretty well understood, I'd like to touch on is the buy the equipment and depreciate and amortize it over the life of the equipment. We've seen that for years in technology, the lease and finance, which has become popular over the last 10 or 15 years, and then a new model that Arrow is bringing to the marketplace, and that's a utility-based financing model. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bill to talk about those three things, and specifically why the utility-based model is getting so popular and why Arrow introduced it. So with that, Bill, thanks.
Okay, great. So we touched on the traditional outright sale and the depreciation and that kind of thing, so we know what that's about.
That's the old way?
Yeah, that's
we're both old,
way,
so we
yes,
understand that model?
I prefer traditional.
Traditional?
Yeah, and then there's the financing and leasing. So financing to $1 out, and also leasing for fair market value, so the CapEx and OpEx when you're financing. The reason that we like to see those options, though, in sales proposals is because that elicits the discussion with the end clients. They can convey what they're doing and what they're feeling so that you can properly implement the solution financially.
Because there are opportunities for both, right? I mean,
correct.
Different companies at different points in time will either buy the equipment or finance it or lease it. We see companies using a mix of those three things.
Correct, exactly, and it all depends on where they want to be and how much assets they have, that kind of thing. So you're correct, and like I say, having that discussion helps the end user to share what they're thinking so that you can properly position the solution and they can take it in most easily. Then we created a utility model. And the reason we created the utility model is because we're moving to more of a consumption-based ecosystem, and with cloud, etc. So what we've done is we've constructed Arrow's brand for utility financing, which is a services model, is called Flex. And what we do is we take the solution and divide it into two pieces, core and reserve. So in a storage example, the client would probably have, let's say, a 50 terabyte requirement today, but they know that they're going to have growth and that they're going to have some other requirements over a period of time. So what happens is we deploy 100 terabytes. And place.
Well, I like the sound of that, Bill. 100 terabytes.
And so do the end clients, because then they can have access to their environment much quickly or more quickly when they need it. So what we would do then is take the core and make that a 60 terabytes in this example, so that they have some room to grow, and they'd have a static payment over the term.
Okay, great.
Now the only time they would pay for that reserve or that extra 40 terabytes is when they actually use it, and then so they could have.
So if a new project comes up or new initiative. Test and dev environment, whatever, instead of waiting that 2, 3, 4 month time frame to go through the procurement process, they have it there, but they're not paying for it until they need it.
Deploy, exactly. Beautiful. Right? So that, and then if once that project ends or the growth is stalled for any period of time, they go back to their regular payment.
So they can go back.
They can go back, which is
beautiful.
A differentiator to what you're going to see in most financial arrangements. And that's really the gist of the program, and why we're seeing so much traction is because they do get access to the equipment, they can deploy quickly, and they're only paying for the reserve portions when they use it.
Great. Well, Bill, thank you very much for coming out here today. I learned some good stuff. I hope it was beneficial for the people out there. And just remember that if this was easy, anybody could do it. Thanks again. Have a great day.